Emotional people, they're a wreck. They control, that emotion controls everything you do. Because you want to be in control of your mind. You want to be in control of your mind. And what emotional people do is, like for instance, I always say this, they can have a beautiful life. Husband and wife, kids, everything they want. But it's the one thing that they don't have that makes them emotional. So that emotion makes them focus on what they don't have. Emotion makes them focus on everything negative, everything. Pity party, woe was me, this didn't happen. So your mind loves that. It loves talking to other people. Oh, this is all fucked up, man. You know, think about it. People love to bitch and complain about everything. So when you're sitting there, you may spend weeks, months, years bitching about the same thing. So what have you done? Nothing. There's no solution in that. But most of us live there. Oh, this other guy got the pay raise. The other guy got this, the other guy got that. And we live in this emotional state of, woe is me. Nothing gets accomplished. Nothing gets accomplished.
When you're full, you don't need other people to fill you up because you're full.
That's right.
I think a lot of people, they need people's respect, they need people's opinions, they need people's attention, they need people's love because they're empty.
That's right.
And they're trying to fill themselves up through other people. But no one can live to your standard, so you're always going to feel empty.
That's how I used to be. So it created me lying, it created me being a dishonest person, whatever I could do to get it, to get whatever it was. But back to your question about emotion, I'm a very emotional person. So I'm very passionate because it took a lot for me to be who I am today. So I'm very emotional, but it's just the passion in me about the sacrifice I put into being who I am today. So I got this award from the VFW called the Americanism Award. And I'm speaking in front of like 5,000 veterans. And I get the award, I'm thanking people, and I turn back to my mom and look at her, and for 58 seconds, just cried. Because I had a chance at that time to look and see what I've accomplished and where I came from. And I wasn't trying to hold it, but I had to get myself together to give my speech. But it was a very proud moment for me to be able to reflect and say, okay, man, like, you know, you've, not like I've earned that right to cry or to be emotional, but it felt good that literally I grinded myself into a fine powder to get where I'm at today. And it just came out in that way. So yeah, emotion is a beautiful thing. You don't want to, if you're emotional, that's bad. But if you show emotion at the right time, I think that's a beautiful thing. Jealousy, 100%. You have to, if you're jealous about anything, that is a horrible thing. Anger, I've done really well with controlling it nowadays. Back in the day when you're insecure. So all this stuff comes from conquering yourself. Once you feel good about yourself, all the anger, not all of it, we're human. Jealousy, these things start to really go away. She's like, no, I'm good. But this is what it is. This is what I figured out. I was so afraid of myself that I had to figure out, I became a master of my mind. People, when you're afraid of something, you have to master it. That's how you start to overcome it. So what I realized, when I get to that point where I want to quit, everybody, they get to the point where they want to quit. This is what happens. The mind tells you, let's go home. Let's take a warm shower. Let's get some food. This is not right. This is that. If you cannot answer the questions at that moment, because your mind's gonna start giving you all these questions. And if you can't answer them, you're going to quit. What I realized when I was going through Buds, Ranger School, all this 100-mile race, 200-mile races, pull-up records, my mind would come creeping in. Like when I was doing 4,030 pull-ups at 2,000 pull-ups and my hands were ripped open, my mind said, look, brother, we've done all these other things. You've proven yourself. You're good. If I didn't have the answer to respond to my mind and say why I'm here, why I'm doing this, you will always lose that fight. You have to have the response to what your mind is going to tell you. And another thing about that is self-talk. A lot of people have like these big four on mental toughness. All that shit is crap about self-talk, visualization. It's true, but the thing about self-talk and all these things, They ask me, what do you think about when you're on mile 100 of a 205-mile run? What are you thinking about when you realize you've run for 24 hours and you have 24 more hours to run and you have another 105 miles? What goes through your mind? What do you say to yourself? I want to know. What I'm doing now, there's not enough fuel in my past. And once you sort it out, that flame goes out. It is a very, very powerful thing, but it can't overcome everything. I was angry once I was able to uncover the rug and look at all these different shells that I collected over the years and say, wow, that fucked me up. And that one fucked me up even worse than that one. And shit, that one was real bad. And because what happens is when you start to collect all these shells, and these shells are bad things of your life, and you put them in your nice treasure chest and you hide them, you know, because it reminds you of where you were at, but you don't want to visit them all the time. When I started visiting these shells, I was like, my God, man, it was a tough way to go. But now looking back on it, man, I don't have any more shells. So now you have to learn to, now what's your passion? So now my passion is still trying to find out what is left. What is more? Can I be driven without the anger? And I can be. I've only dissected 44 years of my life. While I'm still living, I'm still in my live autopsy. So, you know, right now, until I'm dead, I'm still examining human potential. How far can the mind go? How far can we go as human beings? So that's, you know, I call myself the Stephen Hawking of the mind. You know, he was obsessed with everything he ever dove into. You know, the guy couldn't walk or anything, you know, so he was like, the mind. It's one thing he didn't want to lose. And I became obsessed with it because it's the one thing that controlled me. So I became obsessed with this. What is this fucking thing up here that just has me on a tightrope and just walks me into all these horrible decisions I make and makes me feel so pathetic and weak and insignificant and dumb and stupid and everything. I got to get control of this thing. But it's amazing that once you get control of that thing, how far you can go. I think pushing yourself physically is the number one factor of life. That is the true spot where you can really dive deep into. Life's about self-discipline. It is about self-discipline. We tend to do the things that are easy. And that is it builds no mental toughness. It builds no mental hardening. It builds nothing. When you work out, working out is where you can build that the fastest. Because it's a constant, it gives you instant feedback. Yeah, you may not lose the weight you want to real fast, but the discipline it takes, it transfers over to all aspects of your life. It's not, people don't, man, why are you always working out? Stop looking at it that way. This is the foundation of life. When you look in the mirror, every morning we all look in the mirror to get ready to go to work, to go anywhere. The first thing you see is your reflection. If you don't like what you see in the morning, you lost the war already. It's not about even liking what you see. It's about looking in the mirror and you may start, man, I feel different. That reflection is not everything. It's a feeling you're supposed to get. So you have to, in life, once you leave your house, the war begins. In your house, you have some control. And that reflection in the mirror, you have to control that reflection in the mirror. That's how you start your day. If you leave your house feeling like, okay, I can fight. I've established the mentality to fight. And all that comes from working out.